Hi folks, welcome to Exercise of the Month. This month we're reviewing a Fitball hamstring curl. Now typically when working the back of the leg in the gym, some of the typical exercises you might see is a stiff leg deadlift where primarily all the focus is around the hip joint, where we're extending at the hip, or just your normal lying leg curl where the hip joint remains still but all the movement comes at the knee joint, working the back of the leg. Today we're going to review an exercise that you can do if you don't have that sort of apparatus, a lying leg curl machine that works the back of the leg in a motion that a little bit more mimics running, where we're getting flexion of the hip joint and flexion of the knee at the same time, so they're both bending. So let's review the Fitball hamstring curl with progressions from a really beginner easy version that anyone can do up to some advanced levels that will give you some progression to work towards. So let's review the hammy curl. Okay, so here we've got our setup for a Fitball hamstring curl, guys. As you can see, Isla's laying on her back, facing straight up to the sky with her feet on the ball. Basically, you want about the heels on the ball. We're going to start with our bum flat on the ground. Now, this is a very simple, easy way to work the back of the leg, the hamstring here. All Isla's going to do is roll the ball into her bum, so it comes towards the soles of her feet and push it back out again. Her aim is to try and push her heels down towards the ground, obviously into the ball, to create some tension in the back of the leg there. And just do that until the hamstrings gradually progress in strength. If that's really easy for you, we will move to the next step, which all she's going to do is lift the bum off the ground just slightly, pull the ball all the way in, trying to keep the hips the same height off the ground as she pulls it back out, and then drop back down to the ground on each one. So give the hamstrings a bit of a rest. All the way down for a rest and have a breather. Then lift the bum back up, pulling the heels straight back in, all the tension in the hamstring, the hips the same height off the ground, and again lowering back down. If again that's pretty simple, then what she's going to do is pick the hips up and hold them steady off the ground, pulling the ball all the way in, rolling onto the heels and out, and do several reps in a row, keeping the hips the same height off the ground. Now what we don't want to do to start is to let the hips go too high. To start, just keep it at a nice steady distance off the ground. If that's pretty easy, then you can take it to the next step. What we're going to do is simultaneously lift the hips higher as we pull the ball towards the bum, and it's going to create a lot of tension throughout the hamstring area. So what we're doing here is really shortening the hamstring. The hip joint and the femur there is staying very extended, very straight, rather than bending so much. There's a lot of tension in the hamstring. From here, if that's pretty easy for you, we've got the next step up, and I will see your balance. What we're going to do is take one leg slightly off the Fitball. So if you can just hover that leg, and I was going to try a single leg hamstring curl. Now the best way to start this is to bring the ball in a little bit closer. So start a little bit like maybe around the calf area of the leg, so it's not so difficult. Now trying to stabilize the hip, that's a great effort there, and control out. Again, you can pop the hips down if you need the rest. If not, try and do several repetitions in a row. But let's give that a shot. One leg just hovers straight off the ball, pull the ball in, and let's see if we can get a couple in a row. Nice, slow, and controlled. The hips stay the same height, probably slightly lower off the ground. So, yep, and just keep it there. Now, as Isla can attest, there's probably a lot of hamstring going through the hamstring right now, a lot of tension going through the hamstring right now. So you can do that on each leg, and then if that's easy and you want to go the extent, then you're going to push the ball out a little further so it's on the very, very tip of your leg. And if you're game, you can give that a bit of a shot. You're going to take a lot of balance, very, very steady, slowly controlled, and that's a really good effort. So guys, that's a Fitball hamstring curl from a very basic, simple level to a fairly advanced level. If you get a few repetitions of this out in a row, you'll really feel the tension in the hamstring. And you also have to use a lot of control, a lot of core, and a lot of balance to stop yourself from falling, as you'll see when you give it a shot. So all the best, folks. Good luck, and try the Fitball hamstring curl.